In this video, I will talk about the positive cash flow. Three keys to successful real estate investing. Number one is location. Number two, positive cash flow. Number three, financial leverage. So we talk about the location, we talk about the details, how to choose the best long-term explosive growth area. But today I want to talk to you in details about the positive cash flow. So today I want to talk to you three keys of real estate cash flow. Three keys of real estate cash flow. Cash flow key number one. You got to have a rent. Your rent greater or at least equal your payment, principal, interest, tax, and insurance. Rent greater or equal principal, interest, tax, and insurance. Those are a must. You can manage the property yourself. You can repair the property yourself if you choose so. But you have to pay, everybody has to pay principal, interest, tax, and insurance. So sometimes the property is very cheap. So the payment, the principal and interest is quite low. Like in many area in Texas, like in Houston area. So the property price is quite cheap, but tax is very high. Insurance is very high. Like a property in Florida, like the price is not the highest, but the insurance, tax not the highest, but insurance is very, very high in state of Arizona in general. So you have to consider four factors: principal, interest, tax, and insurance. But let me tell you, the most important things is not the principal and interest, but someday the interest may drop and you can refinance to get a better interest rate. And after years, multiple years, your principal will reduce, and to some point you will pay off your property. You will be able to do so someday. But tax and insurance, you can never pay off. You have to pay every single month. So if you buy a property with high tax and insurance, consider even when you pay it off, you still have a lot of money to pay for each month. But if you buy the property in the area with the low tax and insurance, because it has less or much less natural disaster like an earthquake, fire, flood, tornado, storm, cold, something like that, natural disasters, around like multiple times a year. So every year the tax will increase, every year insurance will increase. So to the point that even though you pay off your property, you don't have to pay property principal and interest, but you still have a lot to pay for tax and insurance. So, but overall, you got to have a rent greater than principal, interest, tax, and insurance. Many people forgot about tax and insurance. They just know, oh, this property is cheap. Okay? So the price is low, the payment is low, but the rent is also low, and tax and insurance is very high. So overall, we have to see rent above more than principal, interest, tax, insurance, and preferably tax and insurance is low. So when you pay it off, you don't have much to pay each month. You have a lot of positive cash flow. Okay? Okay, then the cash flow key number 2 is a tax and insurance. So I already covered that a lot in the in the talk, but remember just one key, one thing, that tax and insurance related to the natural disasters and the infrastructure. Yeah, the local infrastructure like freeways, roads, canal, school, shopping. So very tax is very connected with your local infrastructure. If a neighborhood already has the road, has the sewer system, has a power, has a water, then it is easy to build something upon it. But it has nothing, and you have to build. The builder has to build the road, the sewer system, the water system, the electrical system, everything. Then it will cost a lot, and they will put that cost on the your tax bill. So another thing is to consider is the home insurance. So you want to avoid the area with a lot of moderate to a lot of natural disaster. Natural disaster is the enemy of the real estate success investing. So with with fire, with tornado, with storm, with flood, with earthquake, so there is a lot of natural damages, and it costs insurance company billions, multi-billion dollars. So they have nothing, no option except rising the insurance rate every year. So avoid investing in the area with high frequently natural disaster, so you can minimize your principal PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance, in order to generate positive cash flow. So it impacts you directly on your cash flow in the short term and in the long term, even after you pay off your loan on your real estate investment. Okay. Cash flow key Cash flow key number 3 is a maintenance. If you buy a brand new home, you don't have to maintain much. And also the builder cover your home warranty to a certain level. Let's say for foundation, for anything structural, they cover maybe 5 to 10 years. No? And something like electrical, air conditioning, water heater, something like that, they may cover 5 years. And all the minor stuff, they can cover maybe 1 to 2 years. So you are almost, confident that you don't have to spend a lot of money on your maintenance. But if you buy an old house, let's say a house with a shingle roof, and the roof life is 20 years, but at the time you buy the house, it's already 18 or 19 years. So there's only 1 or 2 years left. So that means after 1 or 2 years, you have to spend maybe $10,000 to $20,000 to replace the roof. Otherwise, it will damage your house when the storm, the rain come. Right? Okay. So let me give you another example. Let's say the air conditioning system, it run maybe their lifetime cycle about 10 years to 15 years. But now it's already 15 years or 16 years old. Now you bought the house and then there is a very, very high chance the next few years, 1 or 2 years, 3 years, the AC system will, break down. So then we had to replace the entire AC system. It may cost about $7,000 to $10,000 easily. And many things that involve in the old property and rundown property, in like a deferred maintenance properties. So sometimes the property is new, like 10 years old, but because there is no maintenance, they defer all the maintenance. So it will cause damage in the long run, and it requires maintenance, and it costs money to maintain your properties. So maintenance sometimes and often is a very big chunk of money. Big chunk of money when it comes to like a big thing like a AC, electrical, plumbing, roof, something like that. So pay attention to the maintenance. Buy the property with minimal maintenance in order to minimize your cash flow. Okay? So it is very important to have a positive cash flow, because with positive cash flow, you can sleep in peace. With positive cash flow, you are, collecting more money every month. With positive cash flow, you are not worried when the market goes up or goes down. With positive cash flow, you are in a strong financial condition, and everybody like to work with you, especially lenders, especially banks. Okay, so let me stop right here. The next time, in the next video, I will talk about the leverage. It is a very interesting to learn about the leverage principles. So I will see you in the next video. But in this video, remember 3 keys that affect your cash flow. Remember 3 keys of real estate cash flow. 3 keys that affect your cash flow. Key number 1 is the rent versus principal, interest, tax, and insurance payment. Rent gotta be greater than PI, TI. And the key number 2, tax and insurance. Avoid the area with more tax, high tax rate, and avoid the area that has so many natural disasters. Avoid the area with high tax and high insurance, because even when you pay off the property, you can still pay a lot of on tax and insurance every month forever. And the key number 3 is the maintenance. The rundown property, the properties that require a lot of maintenance, meaning a lot of money from your pocket that will decrease, minimize your cash flow, and will sometimes cause your cash flow to go negative. And when you go on negative cash flow, it is not safe, and it's not fun, and it's not joyful. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. In the next video, we will talk about the leverage. It's very interesting to learn about leverage, using other people's money to make money for you. Learn how to be a master of the money, and learn how to avoid being a slave to money. You don't have to work for money, but let money work hard for you. Okay? All right, see you next video.